Hey, what's up guys, Bryce here, and we're back at it again for another video. In this video, we have episode 2 of the setup guide series, and today we'll be going over the transmission in F1 2020. So this component is not as important and as impactful as the suspension or some other parts, but you know, it is still part of the setup and you still need to kind of get this right. For most tracks, you'll probably see something like 50 or 65, but we're gonna be doing on throttle and off throttle. The way it works is for the on throttle differential, when you go on the throttle, if you have the differential unlocked at 50%, then what that means is that the rear wheels can spin at different times and different speeds, and that pretty much makes it so that you have more grip in the rear and it's a lot easier to go on the power. But you also have a bit more rotation on throttle, so that's what that does. And if you have it on 100% locked, then basically they will spin at the same time, so you can potentially get more traction coming out, not traction, but more speed coming out the corners, but you have to be extremely smooth with the throttle. And with the off throttle differential, what that means is that if you have it on 50, when you're going through the gears, going through a corner, say in third or fourth gear, and you're not on the throttle, the car will rotate a lot when it is at 50. As if you have it at 100, the wheels will spin at the same speed, so you won't get as much rotation. So usually people use around 50% for the on throttle and about 65 for the off throttle. The more you put the off throttle towards 50, the more unstable the car will be, but you do want that rotation when going through corners. For instance, let's see here, just any corner really. Say if you take the first few corners in China, you have that long right-hander. The lower you have the transmission, the more rotation you can get for the off throttle and the on throttle. Again, it's really about the rotation, and again, this setting is kind of complicated, but it's not as impactful. So usually for starters, I would start with 50, 65, and usually 50 is a really good starting point for the on throttle and the off throttle. If you feel like the car is too unstable, raise it. If you feel like you need a bit more rotation, then try to lower it. And yeah, 50 and 65 is a really good starting point, and you can fool around with it from there. On throttle 50 is good, you get good traction, you don't have to worry about being as smooth. So not many people use 100 or anything like that for the rain. Having a lower on throttle, that's why you see people lowering it, is just for the rotation, and the car will become easier to get on the throttle. But again, the lower you make the off throttle, the more unstable and the more the car will rotate. You have to play around with it, depends on the track and all the other components of the car. So that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy, and hopefully you were able to understand it. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. The suspension geometry will be coming very soon, and as well as some other videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.